Welcome to Knightline for Friday, November 6, 2020. I am Hannah with school news and announcements for Jose Marti MAST 6 through 12 Academy. We will begin with our local weather report. Here's Christopher Franco.
I'm Christopher Franco with your Knightline weather. It's 78 degrees with 84% humidity and mostly cloudy skies as we begin the day. Except mostly cloudy skies with high temperatures around 82 degrees today. The thunderstorms will continue this afternoon and hang around through the weekend. The high today is projected to be an 83 with an overnight low of 77. Winds are expected from the east-northeast today, in some cases gusting as high as 15 miles per hour. And the Weather Channel is reporting that ETA has emerged from Central America and is back over the Caribbean Sea, where it is expected to re-strengthen to a tropical storm and could approach South Florida and Cuba this weekend into early next week, bringing flooding, rain, and high surf. ETA has already unleashed deadly flooding and landslides as it has passed over the mountainous terrain of Central America, particularly in Honduras. That's all for Knightline weather. Back to you.
Thank you, Christopher. It looks like a wet weekend is ahead. Let's hope Etta doesn't strengthen before she pays us a visit. The 2021 yearbook is on sale now at yearbookforever.com. Search for Jose Marti MAST Academy to pre-order your book today for only $30. Sales are online only at yearbookforever.com. Quill and Scroll Honor Society and National Art Honor Society will meet after school today at 3:30 p.m. For more information, contact Ms. Morales. Our school recently distributed masks to all students, and we got to wondering, where did they come from? Gabriel Lottie followed the story and spoke with Mr. Enriquez.
On October 22nd, 2020, there was a mass distribution throughout the school. With no information given beforehand, students were given a pack of white masks for free. Many were confused and wanted some questions answered. Thankfully, Mr. Enriquez was kind enough to answer some of these questions for us. Our first question is, why did you decide to distribute these masks?
Student masks were recently distributed to all students. The masks were distributed to provide students with multiple choices in which masks to wear. In addition, masks are in high demand right now, and getting one could be very difficult to do.
Now that we know why the masks were distributed, we want to know who decided on the distribution of the masks. Was it you, the district, or someone else who decided this?
The district office decided to distribute masks to all students.
Our third question is, who provided the masks to the school or district?
The Miami-Dade County Public Schools district office organized the mask distribution by sending us over 1,000 masks.
For our fourth question, I was wondering if you believe that students will be wearing the mask given, as many students already have their own personal masks that they've been using since the beginning of the year, or have disposable masks that they have easy access of.
Although many students already had masks, I am sure many of our students will wear these new masks that we distributed, and at the very least, they will use them as a backup.
For our fifth question, I was wondering if there was a sufficient amount of masks for every student, or were there too many or too little? If there were too many, what will we be doing with the extra masks?
The district sent us enough masks for every student.
For our sixth question, we were wondering if you or anyone else you know have been using the masks that you handed out.
I have seen many of our students wearing masks that we have handed out.
As for our final question, do you know if there will be any more masks handed out in the future, or is this just a one-off thing?
In the future, it is possible that students will get more masks, most likely around the half point of the school year.
Thank you, Mr. Enriquez. These were just a few questions about the recent mask distribution, and I hope this interview was able to answer some of your questions regarding the recent mask distribution.
Thank you, Gabriel. The Green Club will host its first meeting on Friday, November 13th at 2:30 p.m. on Zoom. All are welcome to attend. Want to get community service hours for helping other students with their math homework? Want to join a club with other math-loving students, maybe even participate in math competitions? Mi Alpha Theta meets every first Wednesday of the month starting at 3:30 p.m. Join the Remind group at Toasty Math to receive a link to the Zoom meeting. Ever wonder what's going on in the world? Here's Pedro Pimienta with today's Planet Report.
Hello, I'm Pedro Pimienta with Planet Report. CNN is reporting that Denmark, the world's largest producer of mink furs, plans to cull all mink in the country to contain a mutated form of novel coronavirus. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said Wednesday the decision had been made with a heavy heart, but it was necessary based on the recommendations of health authorities. Statens Serum Institute, the Danish authority based in Copenhagen, which deals with infectious diseases, had found 5 cases of the virus in mink farms and 12 examples in humans that showed reduced sensitivity to antibodies. Allowing the virus to spread could potentially limit the effectiveness of future vaccines. There are between 15 million and 17 million mink in Denmark, according to authorities. Outbreaks of coronavirus at the country's mink farms have persisted despite repeated efforts to cull infected animals since June. That's all for Planet Report. Back to you.
Thank you, Pedro. The National Art Honor Society meets the first Friday of every month from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. NAHS is open to all students who have taken or are currently taking a high school level art class. Contact Ms. Morales for more information. November is National American Indian and Alaska Native Heritage Month. Here's Alex with more information from the Department of Social Sciences.
National American Indian and Alaska Native Heritage Month. To recognize and honor the significant contributions the first Americans made to the establishment and growth of the United States, the nation celebrates National American Indian and Alaska Native Heritage Month each November. Students are encouraged to honor and celebrate the history, cultures, and traditions of the 6.9 million American Indians and Alaska Natives in 573 recognized tribal nations. American Indians were the first people to live in the Americas. Scientists believe that they had been living in the Americas for at least 15,000 years before any Europeans arrived. Following the animals they depended on for food, the early ancestors of American Indians most likely crossed into North America from Asia across a bridge of ice covering the Bering Strait during the last ice age. By 12,500 years ago, American Indians had spread throughout the Americas and were living from the Arctic in the north all the way to the southern tip of South America. As American Indians spread across North, Central, and South America, they developed many different languages and rich cultures that lasted thousands of years. As American Indians met and interacted with European explorers and later with settlers in the Americas, they often faced great hardships, loss of ancestral lands, violence, broken promises, and injustice caused the American Indian way of life to suffer greatly. Through the generation of challenges, American Indians have strived to maintain their languages and culture's heritage. They are the proud first Americans.
Thank you, Alex. Students Working Against Tobacco, or SWAT, is on a mission to reduce tobacco use, expose manipulative marketing of tobacco, and empower youth to stand up against big tobacco. SWAT meetings are on the first Thursday of the month. Join them on Microsoft Teams with the join code below. That's it for us today. I am Hannah with Knightline. Thank you to Christopher, Alex, Gabriel, and Pedro who contributed to our show. We will see you next time.